you're running a staffing agency today, I'm sure you're thinking about top line growth, competitive differentiation, and scaling your business. And today, technology is a core driver to help scale and grow your business more than ever before. But as an industry over the past couple of years, we have faced a high level of uncertainty driven by a combination of cyclical and structural changes. The underlying changes in buying patterns for employers and talent are the root cause of some of these structural changes. So I thought I'd start with just talking a little bit about what are these cyclical and structural changes. Cyclical changes are just what they sound. It's a cycle. It's the changing of the seasons. It's the night following day or a bull market following a recession. In staffing, it's interest rates going up and the demand for labor going down and vice versa. Now, when the changes you're facing are cyclical, it's predictable. As a result, you can take quick, precise action to manage the change. During a recession, for example, most businesses instinctively hunker down. They eliminate waste, cut back on expenses, and manage margins carefully while waiting for the market to turn around. Once the market returns, you add back capacity to meet the demand. Now, structural change, on the other hand, means that there's something fundamentally different in the marketplace, that the rules of engagement and competition are changing. In this case, you need to ask yourself, are the preferences or buying patterns of your customers changing? Is there a major shift in the use of automation or new technologies? Are there changes in geographic or demographic patterns? Are new government regulations altering employer or talent behaviors? In staffing, we know that employers are looking at vendors who can be their partners to manage their contingent workforce programs, provide quality staff, provide a reliable supply of talent. Employers are also shifting purchasing to specialized segments, regional and national contracts. On the other hand, talent preferences are also changing. We know that labor shortages are not going away. Older workers are retiring and leaving the workforce. And the generation that's replacing these workers has grown up with mobile technology. From the time they were in preschool and they're used to clicking a button and getting what they want, when they want, including employment. So the good news, according to SIA, is that most employers report that they plan to increase their use of contingent hiring over the next 5 years. In a recent study, SIA found that only 2% of employers reported that they plan to reduce reliance on temp agencies or bring their contingent workforce programs in-house. So what that means is that 98% of employers will increase their staffing programs or keep it the same. Now, they're going to buy differently, but at least we know they're going to buy and maybe buy even more. The same survey also said that they were changing top priorities for their contingent workforce programs. They all want to control total program costs. Now, that's obvious, but it's not per unit cost, it's total program cost. They want to fill open positions with top quality talent. As I said, quality and reliability of talent are really important. They plan to implement VMS. Why? Because employers want to manage all of their contingent labor in one place. And they plan to integrate contingent workforce programs into their corporate planning. And so VMS will help you do that by integrating it into the overall corporate planning. They want to provide excellent service to their internal customers. That's how they're going to be measured. And there was one other interesting finding is that when employers rate their internal contingent workforce programs as leading edge, they report high satisfaction with their staffing agencies. Conversely, when employers rate their contingent workforce programs as lagging, guess what? They give negative ratings to their staffing agencies. So basically, employers are looking to staffing companies to help them design and execute contingent workforce, successful contingent workforce programs. So in this environment where we're seeing changing demand from buyers, and then the sellers, in this case talent, are all on the web, your brand image in the market is also critical, and it's going to help determine your future. We live in a digital world, And if you don't have a strong digital brand, your agency becomes invisible. Your employers, your talent, and even your own staff will expect you to project a strong brand. So the question you need to ask yourself is, how will your agency add value in this changing environment? Now, I've spoken before about how contingent labor market is rapidly evolving. To me, it's a two-sided marketplace with staffing agencies positioned between employer and talent. And winning in this marketplace requires creating a supply chain of labor and removing friction from the employment process. As we look at the emerging trends in staffing, it's clear that the winners in this new marketplace will be the agencies with the adaptability and the fortitude to embrace new technologies. It's equally clear that the traditional staffing tech stack that's built around an ATS hub and spoke has become obsolete. The problem is that the sum is much less than the parts. So if you take a great ATS, bolt it to a CRM, a payroll system, a billing system, and multiple different mobile vendors, they're all great in isolation. But when you put them together, you still have a loose bag of parts and a very poor user experience. And I think fundamentally, as we look at the future of technology, user experience is critical, and integrated user experience workflow is critical. So what's the better approach? Our core strategy, platform staffing, is built around several key principles. End-to-end workflows, so from employer to agency to talent and back. Frictionless staffing, so eliminating within each of these workflows anything that adds extra steps and loses productivity. It's putting the recruiter at the center to keep high quality and also to drive high productivity. It's empowering and engaging talent with mobile self-service applications and automation. It's enabling one-to-many relationships between recruiters and talent. You need to know your numbers to measure and use data to drive changes day in and day out. And you need to enable recruiters to work the entire ecosystem of relationships from a single user platform. So when we think about platform staffing, the goals and benefits of platform staffing is fill more jobs, increasing the share of wallet, winning more deals, improving margins, driving talent loyalty, and creating a scalable platform that can drive real results. So let's look at how we've implemented platform staffing to drive some of these results. Our premise was that if we could create a well-designed contingent workforce solution and integrate it with the staffing agency's ATS, it's going to help both the employer and the staffing agency alike. So with the benefit of simple VMS and bold integrations, any Avionte customer who has an employer that uses simple VMS can post a job, and just with a few clicks, the job automatically goes to the recruiter, who can share it out with their pool of talent, who can express interest. And the end-to-end integration opens a wealth of possibilities for agencies to serve employers better. These include, again, automated workflows that eliminate manual tasks, redundant data entry, and time delays. The data can be passed back and forth in near real time from the employer to the agency, to talent, and back, reducing that time to fill. It provides enhanced visibility for employers and staffing agencies to look across the entire labor supply chain. Simplified vendor management. It enables employers and agencies to work together as a team to ensure compliance and drive cost effectiveness. And again, it fits into the goal for employers to have a total contingent workforce program that can fit in with their overall workforce solutions. It also helps better talent experience because talent can stay engaged on their mobile phone and build brand loyalty. But one of the biggest advantages is speed. In early testing of this integration between Simple VMS and Bold, the time to fill was reduced from an average of about 7 days to less than a day. And even more importantly, 90% of the fills were accomplished in-house rather than farming out to a competitor. And the overall fill rate for the agencies using this integration approached nearly 100%. So let's think about the implications of this. Avionte's platform staffing can give your staffing agency an immediate disruptive advantage, both to win new clients as well as to improve market share with your existing clients. Now, for me, it's like being in the lightning lane at Disney. And I don't know about you, but I don't like waiting in lines. You can skip to the head of the line and get a jump on your competitors by having an integration that allows you to reduce your time to fill, improve your fill rate, increase share of wallet. Another core component of platform staffing is recruiter productivity and improving gross margins. As we know, gross profits are the lifeblood of the staffing industry. Prioritizing recruiter productivity is a short way to get there. Enhanced recruiter productivity not only improves margins, but it also makes it easier to grow your business. And for staffing agencies that want to go, buy another staffing agency or sell a staffing agency, your growth and your gross profits will drive that valuation. So when you invest in platform staffing technology, one of your key objectives should be to maximize the ROI delivered through enhanced recruiter productivity. To give you an example for this and how you can drive ROI with platform staffing, I took a look at a high volume staffing agency. And let's say it's a CLI agency and your recruiters are managing about 15 active assignments per month at 160 hours per month. Your average gross profit is about $450 an hour. And on average, each recruiter is generating about 11,000 in gross profits per month. Obviously, these numbers will vary a lot by industry. And so let's ask the big question. What is it worth if a recruiter can now fill 20% more assignments per month? Let's just say 18 versus 15. The math is simple. Each additional placement is worth $720 in gross profit. And so you would generate over 2,000 in additional gross profit per recruiter per month. to state the obvious, that's a 20% improvement in gross profits, with most of the improvement dropping to the bottom line, which in turn drives a 10.5x ROI on your investments. So when it comes to platform staffing, cost is not the issue. Rather, it's about knowing your metrics and making continuous improvements to recruiter productivity by leveraging technology and driving organizational change. One of the biggest barriers to productivity is that the recruiting process itself hasn't changed that much in a while. The modern ATS has definitely helped automate the recruiting process. We replaced Excel spreadsheets and Post-it notes for a graphic user interface and advanced search functionality. But the traditional ATS was still optimized for individual talent searches rather than maximizing total system throughput. Put more simply, recruiting is still conducted one recruiter, one requisition, one candidate at a time. This approach also explains why it's so hard to scale a staffing agency. If you want to grow your book of business by 50%, you also need to spend 50% more for recruiting and talent acquisition cost. The cost to hire and train new recruiters creates an additional growth barrier. And while many staffing agencies emphasize the importance of personal touch in day-to-day service delivery, the lack of automation keeps recruiters focused on administrative tasks that detract from meaningful personal interactions. So how can we help recruiters to double their productivity while cutting fill time in half, while better delivering quality with a personal touch? Platform staffing permits recruiters to develop a one-to-many relationship with talent and run multiple parallel workflows simultaneously. So let me give you an example. When a recruiter receives a requisition, they can both post it internally and to external job boards. They can deploy algorithmic matching to identify the best internal candidate in the agency database and send instant push notifications through the mobile app. Applicants can respond real time with one touch and get pre-screened using AI tools and schedule with a recruiter only if they've crossed the minimum threshold for what the recruiter wants to see. The recruiter can initiate automated onboarding workflows that guide a candidate through the process and then send them reminders to show up for work. You can take timekeeping and payroll and automate the process associated with that. And all of this can happen for multiple different job roles and clients simultaneously. So using this many-to-many approach, our technology enables recruiters to have multiple parallel workflows and touch multiple candidates all at once. But there is no reason to stop after implementing one or two or three automations. Top performing agencies will never stop improving. The cumulative effect of these changes can have a profound impact on the overall productivity of your business. And we know this is true because we've seen agencies that use platform staffing build a competitive advantage where they can be price competitive, win more deals, and get a greater share of wallet. Now imagine how your agency might perform if you were able to bring together many improvements at once. On the flip side, if your competitors have automated through platform staffing, they have the integration with employers, they have recruiter productivity, and they have engaged talent, how will you compete with a cost disadvantage that you will have against them? So the key to obtaining these results is to be highly intentional. You need to adjust your core workflows and recruiter metrics and get organizational buy-in. The improvement depends on you, your people, your tech partners, of course, and to align everyone around your business goal. That's how you can double recruiter productivity while maintaining quality at the same time. The bottom line is that the combined effect of systematic automation of the entire recruiter workflow will drive fundamental improvements in productivity and profitability that will give you a competitive advantage that is almost impossible to replicate. In an environment where there's structural change, my view is displace or be displaced. Deploying these core technology capabilities, coupled with your ability to drive change management, will really determine which camp you're in. So as I think about how you can future-proof your business, platform staffing can help you do that. You need to understand your customers and reduce the friction with employers that helps you reduce time to fill. You need to focus on leveraging technology to improve recruiter productivity day in and day out. You need to engage your talent such that you can keep redeploying them and make them your asset. The combination of these things will allow you to grow your business, improve share of wallet with existing customers, drive greater gross margin, and ultimately be much more competitive in the future by future-proofing your business. Again, thank you for having me today. It was a real pleasure.